What's good, yo? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. Show a friend, show a friend. Let's get into some real talk. Boom, boom, boom. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has beat Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Matthew Stafford. I can keep going on and on and on. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, for the third straight season, have started the season 10-2. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't. Jalen Hurts is a winner, bro. He's a flat-out winner. Now, you might not like how he does it. Oh, the tush push this. Oh, it's unfair, blah, blah, blah. If you could stop it, you would, turkey. Oh, I want him to throw for 250 passing yards and put up these gaudy stats. I'm taking a W over gaudy stats. I'm taking the W over gaudy stats. My thing is, all right, boom. We criticize players for putting up gaudy stats and losing, but then when Jalen Hurts keeps getting wins and makes winning plays but doesn't have the gaudy stats, now we're like, well, where's the gaudy stats at? Come on now. Like, why are we trying to keep rewriting narratives? Now, look, Jalen Hurts in the past has put up better passing numbers than this season. For sure. For sure. Look, I mean, last season, Hurts had A.J. Brown go for 1,400 yards. 1,400 yards. And then Devontae Smith, he had over 1,000 yards. But what did that end up with? One of the biggest collapses in NFL history and a first-round exit. So what I'm seeing from this Eagles team, you talk about identity this, identity that, and some could argue that identity is overrated, it's overblown, just win games, which I think there's an argument to be made that that is true to an extent. But let's be honest, we did not know what this Eagles team identity was after the first 4 weeks of this season. And it's funny, like, before this season started, we were like, man, the NFL is hoeing us, man. I mean, they got us with a bye week 5 or whatever, like early on the season. Like, what are they doing, bro? And then we realized, hey, that bye came at the best possible time, honestly. Because when it looked like, everything was looking bad and we not on our stride and everything's not looking too good, we got that bye to reset, get back together, the Eagles team, and figure out what the true identity of this team is. I read an article by Tim McManus, and he talked about how Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, Jordan Mailata, this offensive line went to Nick Sirianni and said, dog, we need to run the ball. And what I'll give Nick Sirianni credit, a boatload of credit, he has self-awareness. And he holds himself accountable. Look, was I a fan of him these first 4 weeks? Hell no. I was saying fire the guy. But at Real Talk, we have to give people a fair shot. When I say a fair shot, we have to criticize somebody if they're tripping, but also, praise somebody if they're doing well. And during this 8-game winning streak, Nick Sirianni has been the solution, not the problem. So we would be remiss as a podcast to be like, let's just gloss over that. Oh, it's the players. Oh, it's Kellen Moore. That's why I was not feeling the whole Nick Sirianni is taking control of Kellen Moore's offense. It's like, no, that was Kellen Moore's offense. And maybe, just maybe, it was Nick Sirianni that was going along with it until his offensive line said, yo, run the damn football. And then he told Kellen Moore, run the damn football. As the head coach, this is your whole operation. Do what I say. And then Kellen Moore had to do what he said. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like it really was. It really was. So ultimately, I'm looking at Saquon Barkley. He's the MVP. Saquon Barkley is the MVP. This guy, 6 times this season, this is an NFL record, hasn't happened in NFL history. For 6 times this season, he's had a 20-plus yard rushing touchdown in the second half. In the second half. So what that tells me is that Saquon Barkley is the best closer in the NFL. I've been saying this, but each game he proves me right again and again and again. And what happened in this Ravens game? What happened is he entered the fourth quarter with 11 carries for 44 yards. 4 yards a carry. Now, for Saquon Barkley standards, that is pedestrian. For everybody else, that's pretty good. I mean, that's cool. A lot of running backs will take that heading into the fourth quarter. But Saquon Barkley, he has another gear. He has another gear that he can go to in that fourth quarter. We have seen it time and time and time again, multiple times this season, of Saquon Barkley flat out win a game because of his elite stamina. And that's just second to none, bro. That's just second to none. So I'm looking at what else he's done. No running back this season against the Ravens has rushed for more than 88 yards. Saquon Barkley had 107. Saquon Barkley has 5 20-plus yard rushing TDs in the second half over the past 3 games. The ultimate closer in the NFL. Emmitt Smith in 92 and Chris Johnson in 09 previously had the most with 5. This is the NFL history. So then in this Ravens game, that's when he got 6 and broke the record. Talk about that. So again, Saquon Barkley is amazing. Jalen Hurts, again, continues to make winning plays after winning play. Last thing about Hurts before I get to this defense, Jalen Hurts as a game manager, I love it. I love it. Like, again, for a large portion of Hurts' career, he's had to put on that Superman cape. Ultimately, bro, he's put up gaudy stats in previous seasons, and it hasn't translated to a ring. But I'm seeing the type of football that the Eagles are playing. This is Super Bowl winning football. For sure. Because what if the Eagles in the Super Bowl, they had a defense like this? Oh my gosh. Or a rushing attack like this. Because, in the Super Bowl, it was Hurts being Superman. It was Hurts being Superman. We had no rushing attack outside of Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. We know if the Eagles are fortunate enough to get to that point again, we know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. So the identity of this Eagles team is running the ball first. That opens up the pass and playing stellar defense. I'm looking at this game and I'm saying, I don't know how the Eagles scored 24 points. I don't know how they did. I mean, Hurts threw for less than 120 yards. I mean, yeah, Saquon went off, but it wasn't like he went for like the $150 that he's been doing, recently and all that stuff. A.J. Brown has 5 receptions for 66 yards just in the second quarter. Like, that's all he did for the entire game was what he did in that second quarter. Dallas Goedert, I mean, he got a touchdown, but only 35 receiving yards. So it's like, off of just looking at the box score, it's not gaudy numbers. But look, the Eagles went crazy in that second quarter. They went crazy in the fourth quarter. That's the game. And with some missed field goals and that, like, changing the momentum a little bit, like, that's all the Eagles needed to go ahead and win. But now we're going to talk about the defense. I'm so glad that we have a guy in C.J. Gardner-Johnson on this squad. Because I ain't going to lie. Last season, it might have been a little bit different. if we had CJ Garner-Johnson against the 49ers. Let's keep it a bean, y'all. Let's keep it a bean. After that first quarter, it was CJ Garner-Johnson that was talking to the Eagles defense and saying, we got to get our stuff together. Like, we got to lock in. And since that point, the Eagles defense let up 3 points. I'm not counting that garbage time touchdown that when Lamar was stat padding, bro. We're not gonna count that. But since that first quarter, the Eagles essentially shut down this historic Ravens offense. Now, I know, like, was it all because of CJ's, speech, that rah-rah speech? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is CJ Garner-Johnson is the type of guy that, like, you love to play with, hate to play against. But he's a flat-out dog. He's a flat-out dog. And just from looking outside looking in, I feel like he might say some stuff that's like, it's got to be said. It's got to be said. And I feel like last season, this Eagles defense maybe did not have the accountability that it has now once you bring a flat-out dog on your team. CJ reminds me of P.J. Tucker. Because P.J. Tucker, he's going to light a fire under you, and he's going to say something that be like, yo, like, we got to lock in, like, let's remember who we are. I feel like P.J. Tucker, for what he was for us, and C.J. Garner-Johnson, they are very, very similar in how they are, and he's a leader on this defense for sure. I mean, I saw a tweet that was like, C.J. was like, Jalen Carter, you're the best effing lineman in the league. Hey, pop it. Jalen Carter is a man amongst boys, bro. You can't stop him. When he plays like this Eagles defense is unstoppable. And then when you pair that up with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Now, look, I had a tweet that said, look, I'm sorry, Zay Flowers, but Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are going to lock you up all day. Now, early on, he was up against Isaiah Rodgers, and, he got, some yards early on. I'll give Zay credit for that, for sure. But when Quinyon Mitchell was matched up against Zay Flowers, what happened? 4 targets, 2 receptions, 4 yards, 2 forced incompletions. Zay Flowers meet Quiyamo Bay Island. You'll be locked up there for a considerable period of time. But that's what it is, bro. Cooper DeJean. When I saw Cooper DeJean, bro, this man is 6 foot, 198 pounds soaking wet. Derrick Henry is 6'3", 247 pounds. That's damn near 50 pounds more than Coop. And Coop laid him out. Oh, rookie. This your king? Oh, all right then. Is this your offensive player of the year, MVP candidate, bro? Hey, look, the Eagles had him, 19 carries, 82 yards. I'll take that. I will take that all day, every day. And the recipe to beat Lamar Jackson is you must have him pass for more than 30 times. I got in an argument with my friends because I told them the same way how teams are trying to guard the Eagles with guarding Hurts and saying, well, if we can get Hurts to throw the ball 30 plus times, that's a win, is the same way that the Eagles were thinking about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. If we can get Lamar Jackson to throw the ball 30 plus times, you're talking about, all right, yeah, we in good shape. Because just like the Eagles, the Ravens offense goes through the run. It's not pass first, bro. Lamar can pass. Hurts can pass. But if you're asking them to be a drop back passer from start to finish, that's not their game. And we saw with Jalen Hurts, right? There was so much attention going to Saquon Barkley that it allowed Jalen Hurts to be great. It allowed Jalen Hurts to go on those, quarterback designated runs and go off. That's how we ended up getting that touchdown for Dallas Goddard, in that second quarter, right? Because the defense is so focused on Saquon Barkley, it frees up space for Jalen Hurts and the other wide receivers to be great. You feel me, right? And then with Hurts, ultimately, like Hurts continues to make play after play, winning plays, and he doesn't fold against elite quarterbacks. I have never seen Jalen Hurts fold against an elite quarterback. Whether it was Josh Allen, he showed up. Whether it was against Patrick Mahomes, he showed up both times. Whether it was against Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, whoever you want to say, Jalen Hurts has shown up. Matthew Stafford, it don't matter. It don't matter. So that's why, like, against any elite quarterback, I like my chances with Jalen Hurts on my team because he's a flat out winner. And the NFL doesn't have too many flat out winners at the quarterback position. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Jalen Hurts that are just flat out winners. Like since they've been in the league, they flat out won. That's what it is. Zach Bond is a flat out winner. Zach Bond, if you never saw the NFL prior to this season and you just saw this season, you would say, oh, yeah, Zach Bond's a top 5 linebacker in the game. No question. Probably like top 3. He's on another level. His stops on Derrick Henry, it was flat out amazing. Flat out amazing. I can't say enough about him. Nakobe Dean everywhere doing what he do. Y'all know the deal with him. Jalen Carr, man amongst boys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I feel great. I think, talk about like this Eagles team matched up against all the NFC teams. Like, look, the Lions are not world beaters, bro. They're not world beaters. And I'll be honest, if this Eagles defense is able to contain a guy like Lamar Jackson, who we know is 10 times better than Jared Goff, this Lions offense ain't like no world beaters, bro. It's not world beaters. Like the Bears showed it. Other teams have shown it. Like they beat up on crap teams really, really bad. And they've had some good wins this season against the Vikings, and other wins too. And like they cool. Like they are a great team, but they're not world beaters at all. They're not world beaters at all. So ultimately, like, do I like the Eagles secondary against Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamo? For sure. Do I like the fact that this Eagles defensive line held Derrick Henry in check? Do I think that will happen against the Lions? I do believe that can happen. That's not out the question. Again, the Eagles beat the Packers. I'm not worried about them and Jordan Love, who is so erratic. They're just not as talented as the Eagles. Like they're just not. The Vikings, I will never trust Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and all that. The Bucks, they caught us when we were down bad and guys was injured. But I'm not worried about that. I don't know if they even like make it to the point that they would face the Eagles in the playoffs. I can keep going down the line of like the NFC. Seahawks, nah. The 49ers are 5-7. Their playoff hopes are over. They have to go. Like the 49ers would have to go ahead and basically win out. Yeah, they would have to beat the Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Lions, and Cardinals. Like they have to win out. That's just not happening. So their season's done. Go to more of the standings right now. Washington, nobody's worried about them. So again, I feel like it's the Lions and it's the Eagles. They are a class above everybody in the NFC. I think the Bears are tier 2. I think the Vikings are tier 2. I think the Commanders are like a tier 2B. Like they're like a tad bit below them, but not far off. And everybody else is like tier 3. Maybe you can put like the Bucks in like that tier 2B. I'm just making up stuff right now with the Commanders. But like top to bottom, nobody has the talent level of this Eagles team. And I love our chances against the Lions for sure. And actually, the Eagles can go ahead and clinch a playoff spot against the Panthers. It's just crazy to me the fact that like if Saquon Barkley makes that catch, now he against the Falcons. Now, mind you, he has made up for that in multiple games. But if he makes that catch against the Falcons, talking about 11-1. Just saying. I mean, 10-2 is not too shabby at all as well. So I'm very, very happy we're gonna get more content rolling this week for sure. But ultimately, like this is a statement game from the Eagles to show that we have arrived. That we have arrived. And any questions about our opponents, about this defense? I mean, I'll be honest, bro. Like in the beginning of this season, I had my doubts about this Eagles defense for sure. And I don't know how Vic Fangio and the players on this defense turn this around because I did not see this coming. I could see being like middle of the pack. And that was like my hope. I was like, you know what? If we have a top 3 offense and a middle of the pack defense, the Eagles are going to be a damn good football team and a contender in the NFC. But we have seen this Eagles team go from like bottom 10 the first 4 weeks, like bottom 7 to go ahead and be the best defense in the league after the bye. I'm sorry. I don't even think like the biggest Eagles homers could have thought this. It couldn't have, unless you just had like blind faith in the guys. And if you did, like, hey, salute to you. But I feel like the only people to really believe in this turnaround of this defense are the guys on the defense that are playing every snap, bro. Like, and the coaching staff. So I have to give them credit and just say, yo, like, we're back. We're back. I'm gonna keep saying this. I really feel like that bye was so great. It was so great that that was something that we didn't know that we needed, but we ended up needing it in the end. So happy about that. Again, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. We're gonna have another episode tomorrow. More thoughts on this, and I'm gonna continue to be consistent. I love y'all, man. 20K on Instagram is a big accomplishment for y'all. Big accomplishment for all of us. Man, love y'all, man. What's up with MJ? Y'all know I always keep it real. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Can't even talk now. We out.